Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 40 AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City. What a second season for that youngster.
All set to go now from Orlando. The 2019 NFL Pro Bowl is underway. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Ready, yellow lady. Watch it, it's a party now. It's a party now.
Exit game. Yes, exit to menu. Entering team select screen. The Pro Bowl NFC, the home team are selected. Entering main menu screen. Join the celebration. Exit franchise.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
Franchise pop-up menu. You have two options. Cloud is selected. Entering cloud franchise screen. Load create cloud franchise. You have two options. Use real life preseason week 1.
Select the team you want to join.
Team screen. Regular season week 6.
Select the team you want to join.
Team screen, 32 options, San Francisco.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left.
Leave settings. Game skill level option. Entering customize screen. Start playing is selected.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Selected. Advanced practice. Team adjust lineup. Things to do. You have 9 things to do. Next, you have 7 options. Sim to mid-season is selected. And sim ahead. Practice squad players. Advance week. Things. Advance week. Things to do. You have 2 options. Next week is selected. Advance week. Things to do. You have 2 options. Next week is selected. Play Pro Bowl is selected. View message. Upgrade players. View Pro Bowl. Team adjust line. Thing. Upgrade. View Pro Bowl roster. Team adjust lineup. League. Option. Thing. League news. Schedule. Transaction. Members you have. League. Schedule. Standings. Entering NFL stand. Rank 5. Rank 1. AFC rank 2. NFC rank 1. Rank 12. Rank 1. Entering franchise hub screens. News. Schedule. Transactions. And yes. Entering cloud load continue last played. Entering franchise hub screen. Play Pro Bowl is select. Things to do. You have 4 options. Entering ready. Ready.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the 2020 NFL Pro Bowl on EA Sports. Coming up, the AFC, riding a 3-game winning streak, gets set to take on a hungrier group of rivals from the NFC. I'll check you again at halftime. But for the call of the Pro Bowl, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's the 47th meeting of the AFC and the NFC as they battle in the 2020 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
And now time to check into the action as this offense tries to see if they can put a drive together here early in this first quarter. Rodgers now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their #1 receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run with the Rams' Todd Gurley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Gurley. And an alley to run. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 15 yards on the play. First down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 16 yards, a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Rodgers now to throw. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
Entering off-screen prison.
His guys will get the football back. Now the NFC going to use a timeout. They'll have 2. No score as of yet. Defenses have ruled here into the 2nd quarter. But here's another 3rd down situation to check in on. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. That's complete. It's Bell. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the... Time to jump back in as Aaron Rodgers has the Packer offense inside the red zone and looking to finish off a scoring drive. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is...
Time to jump back in as Aaron Rodgers has the Packer offense inside the red zone and looking to finish off a scoring drive. Back to the ground game here, Gurley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Gurley. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through.
Well, this one's getting good now. 4th quarter, tie game. This defense looking for a huge 3rd down stop. Here's Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Entering off-screen.
Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And the 13-year man puts it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead. This defense now desperate to protect their 3-point lead. What can they do here? This might be the drive that decides it one way or the other. Brady now on 1st down. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Allen's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Right back for Allen. This time he finds him complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Brady to throw. And Allen's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back to throw. A crusher there as it's intercepted. Buddha back.
And resume.
And he is all the way up past the 25. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And I think this defense...
Entering off-screen resume.
He is smothered behind the...
And call timeout.
Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That lead...
Entering off-screen resume.
Back to the work.
Entering off-screen resume.
Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The numbers for the NFC on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And they get...
Call resume.
But not before he takes it across the...
Entering off-screen resume.
Now the NFC going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
Post-game report.
So long,
Finish
everybody.
game. Entering XP feedback screen, you have 22.
The players on your team earned XP.
You have 37 options. Fred Warner is selected.
Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game. This is the player card. Here you can see your player's strengths and weaknesses by looking at their archetype ratings.
Pass coverage. Run stopper.
This is the development trait, Superstar and Superstar X. This is the abilities tab. Here you can see what abilities a player...
Run stopper. Run stopper. Power rusher. View in-depth chart. Entering player upgrades screen, you have 35 options. Physical. Physical. Zone. Deep root. Physical. Root run. Slot.
This player has a zone ability. This is a powerful ability that can be activated when the player completes in-game objectives. Only X-Factor players will have zone abilities.
DJ Mark L. Mark and Ross C. Daniel Brunsk. DJ Reed Jr. Entering franchise hubs. Viewbox score is select. Advanced things to do. You have 2 options. Next week is selected. Next, you have 4 options. Sim to off season is selected. Next week.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
Options. Advance week. Scout college players. Entering. Choose a draft class. Pop-up meta and share draft classes have been handcrafted and shared by the community. Auto-generated classes will give you the most balanced experience. You can also use a local draft class. Auto-generated.
Here's a list of all the players that will appear in the upcoming draft. Select a player to learn more. Select to scout this player and unlock his best skill. Use this information during the draft to make your picks. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this